Hey, y'all. Welcome back to Mountain Murders Midweek.
I'm Heather.
And I'm Dylan.
Dylan.
Oh, my gosh.
Never stop talking.
I'm in a crisis right now.
You're in a crisis?
Yes, I'm in a bit of a crisis.
Explain.
Gosh. Okay, so I got off work. I get off around lunchtime usually. Weird hours. And it's hot outside. And for a couple of weeks, I've been like, I should stop by this Burger King that's near my work. I'm going to have some Burger King.
You wanted that flame grilled taste. Is
Yes.
that it?
Yes. Well, I thought I did.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, I haven't had this in forever. We literally never eat fast food. And so I get it. I'm driving home, got a little 30-minute drive home. I kind of wolf it down. You know, it tastes good. Good enough, I guess. And
A commuting meal.
yes, commuting eats. And it's like my body is going into shock now. I feel terrible.
It's what happens, dude.
Okay,
I experienced something similar the other day. I'd gone to Chick-fil-A to grab my son lunch, and I love the Sunjoy, so I had to go get one. But while we're in line, you know, he's going to get some nuggies or whatever, and I'm like, maybe I'll get some nuggies. And again, we don't eat a lot of fast food. I'm telling you, bro, after I ate those nuggies, I felt like trash for like the rest of the day.
I'm not doing it anymore.
And I made myself go swim some laps after I ate it.
Oh,
It's
God.
just like, why am I doing this?
How-
Why did I make this choice?
How was working out after eating fast food?
Rough. It was rough, Dylan.
And you know it's strange because I was literally shocked. I got just a regular burger, medium on the fries and drink, I guess, and of course my drink is packed full of scientifically designed ice. So there's literally only like 2 sups of drink in this big drink. Never makes it to the end of your meal.
Man, that drives me crazy.
I asked for a ranch because I wanted to do Burger King fries with the ranch.
I never eat ranch. You know this. I'm not a ranch dressing fan. It goes against every part of my Southern heritage. I understand that because people love ranch, want a trough of it. I can't stand ranch. The only time I like ranch and ranch is acceptable is when you have Burger King fries. And it has to be the Burger King brand ranch. And it's one of those little cups.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
The
And
little dipping sauce cup.
you turn me on to that. I'm like, I'm going to have the full experience today. We're going to do this. So I asked for a ranch. Now, mind you, this is after paying almost nearly $14
For a single meal?
for a single.
Like a combo or whatever?
Yes.
Okay.
A single, just regular burger. It wasn't a double Whopper. It wasn't nothing like that. I didn't add anything to the sandwich. Almost $13.59. And then I asked for a ranch, and the woman tells me that'll be another 39 cents. Are you fucking kidding me?
They're going to charge you for sauce.
They're going to charge me for one sauce. One sauce. I said, well, then how much is the ketchup? And she's like, well, the ketchup's free. I was like, well, I guess we're going with ketchup because I'm not going to swap my card for 39 cents and I don't have any fucking change.
I'll take whatever's free.
And they want, okay, I'll stop ranting, but they wonder.
No, it's perfect because this is a great seg into today's episode. So keep ranting, Dylan.
Well, they wonder why all the brands seem to be struggling. And, so I get this meal after a long time of not eating it at all, and I'm disappointed. You know, my drink's not working out for me.
So disappointing.
The food's making me feel bad after I eat it, and I couldn't even afford ranch.
It's the same thing that happens when you go for like months without having a soda.
Yeah.
And then you crave, a crisp taste of a cola or something. And then you get it, and and then it's immediately disappointing when you drink it. It tastes weird. Because you haven't had it for so long. It's like syrupy and strange. I mean, I don't know if that happens to anybody else, but it totally happens to me.
No, it's syrupy. It's weird tasting. It's chemically, if that's a word.
This is just our body's way of telling us, like, you don't need this.
Chemically tasting, right?
Yeah.
All right, so enough of me and my terrible experience with Burger King, who did not sponsor this episode. Let's move on into the stories you have.
Well, Dylan, as you can imagine, being hangry leads to customers doing a variety of stupid things. Like, for example, getting a $14 burger meal that they really didn't need.
Yeah, I can see somebody flipping out when you try to charge them 39 cents for ranch.
And there are a lot of dumb mistakes fast food criminals make. There's nothing like customers not getting what they want exactly when they want it to set them on the paths that lead to jail. I mean, come on. We have had multiple stories on our midweek episodes about fast food criminals. We're going to devote this whole episode, Dylan, to discussing fast food crimes, haunts, and scandals, because there are haunted fast food restaurants out there.
Oh my gosh.
Can you imagine eating at a haunted Burger King?
No.
The little crown, you just see like a little floating crown, paper crown.
Or, yeah.
Disembodied crown.
Remember the creepy king they had there for a while in
Yes.
the commercials?
Yes.
He scared me.
No, the Burger King was very odd. He almost had like a weird plastic effect. Like, I didn't really understand that as a marketing strategy.
No. It was unsettling.
Dylan, let's get into today's episode. I'm telling you, bro, some of this stuff's going to blow your mind. Now, if you have a warrant out for your arrest because you're a murder suspect, you probably should lay low, right?
Yeah, you go into hiding. You kind of stay off the street, if you will.
Antoine Sims had previously been involved in a drug deal that went south with gunfire, and he was accused of setting a car on fire after a woman inside was hit with a stray bullet. So one night when Sims was out of jail on bond and had a warrant for a missed court date, he decided to visit a Georgia McDonald's with his fiancée. Now, this was in 2022. Talk about playing a stupid game and winning a stupid prize, okay? His little toy and his value meal is on point. Sims got hot under the collar when he missed hearing an employee calling his order number and ended up with cold fries rather than hot ones.
I mean, how long did he... I mean, every time I've been in a fast food restaurant waiting, I kind of keep an eye out, right? I mean, it's not rocket science. They put the bags up there. You usually know who ordered around you. You see them getting their food.
Well, what it boils down to is this is a you problem.
Yeah.
If you order food and you fail to pay attention when they call your name or your number, that's you. The employee did exactly what they were supposed to do.
Yeah, they're
right?
not...
They made your food, they prepped it, they bagged it, and they put it up in the window for you to come grab it.
22.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so after he gets his cold fries rather than his hot ones, he's complaining, and an employee offers him a refund. But this did not satisfy Sims. He starts yelling obscenities. He wants fresh fries. He throws a drink, and then he calls 911 over the incident. How you going to call 911 and say my fries are cold?
I don't know, but I've heard of this more than once. People calling with basically a customer complaint, demanding the police come down there and make them give me like a fresh burger or give it to me the way I want it prepared. It's insanity.
It is a complete waste of resources. Well, the owner also called 911, Dylan, after she had asked Sims to leave. A policeman outside asked him to sign a statement agreeing not to return to the restaurant, but rather than signing this, he fled on foot. Police tased Sims once they caught him. They did a search of his fiance's car and found 31 grams of marijuana, so he ended up with obstruction and drug charges to add to this rap sheet that he already had. So if you have an outstanding warrant for your arrest, murder, you probably should not be calling 911 or showing your ass in a fast food restaurant. What do you think, Dylan?
And a little bit over an ounce of marijuana in your vehicle as well. Probably a good reason to have a kind of a lower profile. I mean, this is ridiculous. This is a definite example of played stupid games, win stupid prizes. He had many chances to just walk away, let it go. Even in the very end, all he had to do was acknowledge that he's being trespassed from the business. And here's the thing about it.
This is the thing that drives me crazy.
It doesn't matter if you're in the wrong or right. If you have a civilian, a regular person, versus the business that you're at calling police, the cops are always going to go and they're going to listen to what the business says, because in the
most of the time, yeah.
Well, yeah, because in the end, they have a right in
To
most places to refuse service just for whatever reason. It doesn't matter.
This is what kills me. Okay, I mean, this absolutely gets under my skin, drives me crazy. Is when a person, their actions cause a problem.
Right.
So Sims isn't hearing the number called. Like I said, that's a you problem, dude. And then overreacting and blaming someone else when it's your mistake, and then causing a big scene over it and acting like you're offended.
Right.
Because of something that you did to yourself. I mean, you're victimizing yourself here.
At the end of the day, if you walk up there and you say, "Look, I'm sorry. You have my stuff up here. I missed it. I was talking to my girl or whatever. My fault. Do you mind giving me some fresh fries, or will you heat these up, please? It was my fault, but can you help me out?" Most of the times they're going to be, "Yeah, sure, no problem. Here's you some other fries, whatever." But showing your ass is never, ever going to make the situation better.
It's very, I think, low IQ behavior.
It is low IQ behavior.
You just don't have the emotional maturity to, like, deal with the situation. So your immediate go-to is cussing and throwing fries and throwing drinks.
But
it's just, you're dumb.
This isn't a complex situation.
You're dumb if you do that.
What the fuck?
In 2018, a YouTube prankster named Cody Roeder of Troll Munchies. Have you ever heard of this YouTuber?
No.
Me either. Made a prank choice at In-N-Out Burger, and that would end up costing him more than he could have imagined. So this guy, Roeder, walked into a In-N-Out Burger in Van Nuys, California. He was wearing a suit and tie, and he claimed that he was the new CEO for the company.
Okay.
His name was Mr. John Trollston. As the new CEO, he was demanding free food. He wanted to sample it. And while most of the employees were like, "Okay, cool, we're going to get you fries and a hamburger," the manager was not buying the story and ended up calling the police on him before he left. Roeder hit up another In-N-Out Burger in Burbank the next day. This time, he went as far as to grab a customer's burger and throw it on the floor.
Oh, God. What a dumbass.
And then smashing it underfoot. He also said the burger was full of dog meat and it was contaminated.
Oh, okay. See, these internet personalities, these pranksters or whatever. Now, there's a guy who's in the Philippines. I forget what his name was, Vladi or something like that. And he was just going to people's and like grabbing them and screaming it, coming up behind them and screaming in their ear. And like in these Asian countries, they don't understand even that kind of humor, quote unquote.
No.
And
it's not even funny.
It's not. What he was doing was ridiculous, not funny
obnoxious.
Anywhere. But there, it's even more of an issue because no one acts like that.
Well, there are quite a few cultural differences.
Yes.
I mean, I think we all can understand that there are cultural differences there.
Dude, he runs around for, I don't even know if he made it, if it was over the course of a day or a few days, doing all these things. He is in jail right now for like 20 plus years after all the shit he did in this other culture, violating everything, not understanding their justice system. And it's a really dumb thing to do. And these people get carried away doing these things in the pursuit of clicks and views.
Well, these pranksters are not old enough to remember the caning in Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
Over litter.
Yeah.
When I was a teenager, that was like a big news story. You know, some American threw some trash on the ground.
Or was it graffiti?
I think it was trash.
It was something simple.
Like, it was littering,
right.
I'm pretty sure. And they caned him. Like, he was sentenced to be caned. Like, physically caned.
As punishment.
Yeah, and of course that was like a really big news story. But again, you're in another country. I mean, that really, I guess, opened my eyes to like, wow, when you're in another country, things are different and their culture's different. And you have to abide by like a different set of rules, values, behaviors when you're visiting
right.
another area.
Yeah, these people expect to be able to do anything they want in public. And then when the going gets tough, for them to just say, "Oh, it's just a prank," and everybody be okay with it. There was that.
I just don't find most of these pranks funny.
It's obnoxious.
To be honest,
it's like shock jockeying or something like that. It's stupid, and it's made for the stupid internet. And then there was the case of that guy who pulled a gun and shot that young person in the stomach because he was, big 6 foot something kid, big kid, teenager.
Was in a mall.
All
like
in this guy's face. Right? And this guy's like, doesn't quite understand what's happening, tells him multiple times to leave him alone. Finally, he pulls a gun out and shoots the guy, and he was found not guilty, which he said he feared for his life. He didn't know what was happening. The guy kept not saying anything and just continuing to, kind of invade his space and get all up in his face. And the guy was a little guy, and this teenager's a big kid, and that's what happens. And I think that was, you play stupid games, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, my gosh.
Rotor went to post the videos on his Troll Munchies YouTube channel. And at the time, I guess it had over 600,000 subscribers. People must be into these kinds of ridiculous pranks. In-N-Out Burger was not amused with all of this. They ended up suing him for $25,000 in damages and got a restraining order against this guy to keep him out of their restaurants.
Damn.
Yeah. Now, again, we have a situation where anger leads to trouble, Dylan. In 2015, Frederick Warren walked into a Subway, threatened the cashier with a knife, and then, of course, proceeded to pull cash out of the register before leaving. So he was essentially robbing the Subway. But
at knife point.
But the smell of that fresh baked bread, and when you walk into the sub place, you automatically are hit with the bread smell, and then also like the oil and vinegar.
The fixins. Yeah.
I feel like that oil and vinegar scent is really heavy in a Subway.
I like the smell of. I like Subway. I know you hate it. But
I don't hate it. I told you.
You can't eat it.
It makes my tummy hurt.
Right. You can't eat it is what I should say.
There's something about it.
But it has especially a Subway, I have to say, has a very distinct smell.
It does. Absolutely. So he's in here robbing this place, and all these smells, they're so enticing. He decides that he is starving, but he needs a sandwich. Old boy may be a dumb criminal, but he's smart enough to realize that he cannot get a sandwich at the Subway that he just robbed, right?
Yeah, and that's a smart move.
Instead, he crosses the street only about 120 feet to another sandwich shop called Potbelly.
Potbellies?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's around Loyola University, and they actually have surveillance video of this guy crossing from this Subway over to the other sandwich shop. They're within view of each other.
What an idiot.
Warren then buys himself a sub, walks to the back of the shop, takes off his coat, and just starts chowing down. He's munching on some grindage.
So, in the course of robbing one sandwich shop, he literally had a hankering for a sub sandwich that he needed to go directly and take care of.
A hanger, man.
And
it's a motivator, and it can also get you in trouble.
And not only does he get a sandwich, he sits down and eats it there, right?
He does. So while he's enjoying his sandwich, police find him there. He's got the knife he used in the robbery and the $186 that he took from the register.
Minus the cost of a sub.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm sure the employees where he just robbed probably watched him walk across the street and go inside the other sandwich shop.
You think they did?
Likely. Most people look out, try to see where the person that just robbed them went to.
All right, Dylan, let's talk about a haunted fast food restaurant.
Now, I have to say, you said earlier haunted fast food restaurant. I don't think I've ever heard a story, and I've heard many paranormal stories in my life that involve a fast food restaurant.
Well, I was thinking about this. All of these ghost stories, paranormal shows, folks who've claimed to have witnessed a phenomena, apparition, whatever, usually describe the person in like old-timey garb.
Right.
So I'm just imagining like some ghost from the 1700s, like a big hoop skirt.
In a McDonald's.
Haunting a Pizza Hut, like,
yeah.
woo. Ooh, and they don't even understand what's happening.
Auntie, what is all this?
What is this bread with cheese and sauce?
What is this delicious spread?
Ooh, yeah.
They don't know what a buffet is.
There is a Pizza Hut in Centereach, New York, which is on Long Island. And a team of paranormal investigators went to check out this famous Pizza Hut. According to staff, the restaurant is haunted by a man who died, they think either by murder or suicide, in the restaurant's bathroom back when it was a Jack in the Box. So it had previously been the Jack in the Box. Now it's a Pizza Hut.
Well, that's weird because most places were a Pizza Hut, but now they're like a Mexican restaurant, but they're in that weird ass building that's obviously was an old school Pizza Hut that no matter what they do to it, they can't change the look of the building because it was built in a very specific manner.
You mean like the little sushi place down the road that's in an obviously old Pizza Hut building?
Yeah, I mean, I think anyone who grew up during that time can spot it from a mile away.
No, it's funny.
Because it made you happy to see that Pizza Hut building with that beautiful, and I was just, you're making me think, should Pizza Hut bring the buffet back? Because I got to say,
I don't know about the buffet.
I thought it was successful.
You liked the buffet?
I never got to go, but I heard stories.
That buffet was in like the 90s and the early 2000s. How you not get to go?
Yeah, well, I didn't.
Well, they had it at our Pizza Hut in our town in the 90s and early 2000s. So
yeah, well, I'm talking about as a kid.
I don't remember they had a buffet when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I feel like the buffet only started in like the 90s.
Yeah, I don't know. No, I'm pretty sure they had it as a kid.
I'm standing on this, Dylan.
Well, later on, I'll research the Pizza Hut buffet.
Man, I have to say, growing up in a rural, little small town, we didn't have a lot of options when I was growing up. And so Pizza Hut was one of the restaurants in town, right? And it was such a privilege to get to go to Pizza Hut on like a Friday night and get a pizza and play. They had the old
tabletop
Pac-Man game. Absolutely.
Yeah, it'd either be Pac-Man or like Galaga or something like that. And it was so cool to play it on that tabletop kind of model. Cool. Oh, dude, couldn't tell me nothing.
Yeah. No, it was awesome. Pizza Hut was great back then. Well, I say that, but it's like I don't know if it was really great back then or I just wasn't exposed to much, in my little town.
We always want, and it's funny about little towns like that because things will hang on longer there than they do anywhere else as the times and businesses change. Some of the last Sizzler, Western Steers, or things like that, or Roses, you'll find them still in operation in these small towns because they just simply don't have those are successful, still successful in that of a failing business because there's nothing else around. They win by default, right?
Yeah. Well, it's true. Dylan, there is a Burger King. Speaking of your lunch today, there is a Burger King in West Palm Beach, Florida, supposedly haunted by a very mischievous young man who gave a janitor, quote, a literal run for his money.
Oh.
The janitor supposedly chased the young man around the restaurant 2 separate times, trying to get him to leave. I guess actually believing he was a customer.
So he sees something or someone, and he's like, what are you doing? Trying to figure out what they're doing in the business.
But both times, as he's trying to chase this young man down, he just simply vanishes into thin air, this ghost of this young man.
That's going to happen one time, and I'm out.
Well, of course, this totally creeped out the janitor. He ended up quitting. But other employees, including former managers at this location, have also said, we have seen this ghost, and, kind of describes him as a bit of a prankster, the ghost.
Oh, okay.
But have had similar experiences.
So if you encounter a ghost or an entity, we'll say, and it turns out it just seems to kind of be a silly goose, right? Or just kind of messing around, not malevolent in any manner, would you be okay with that? Or would you still be totally weirded out?
I probably wouldn't really be freaked out.
Oh, no matter what?
Mm.
What if it's like the poltergeist energy, dude?
Dude, we lived in a house with a demon in the attic. Like, We've had experiences together, Dylan. I lived in a haunted place when I met you, and you experienced it too. So clearly I don't have a problem living in haunted places. I just tell them, like, go fuck off, dude.
Oh, my God. Maybe you're the haunted place.
I do.
Oh.
Well,
Hey.
I've
take.
I've lived in more than one place that I'm telling you, bro, things happened. And it wasn't just me. Other people witnessed it as well.
Okay.
Well, you know, we lived our last home, had the scary attic. We've talked about it before on the show. We've discussed our scary attic. And we just didn't go in there, or go up there, I should say.
No, it was really creepy.
You said there was like some kind of metal bar across like you could handcuff someone to it.
I mean, I didn't see any. I mean, I'm just obviously exaggerating and what it could be used for, but I didn't. It's just weird.
Well, no, but that was our first thought, was like, was someone chained up here?
Well, yeah. I mean, I didn't understand why it was there or what
it
purpose
didn't really
it
make
served.
sense.
Right.
No. Maybe it was like an old clothing.
They could have hung something up there or some.
Like a person.
Maybe they did a small batch of tobacco in the middle of town.
But one day you were climbing up it was kind of like a weird staircase to get.
It's very steep.
Yeah, very strange staircase. But you were climbing up the staircase to get into the attic, and you felt like somebody pushed you.
Yeah. Now I was rather intoxicated when that happened. I was showing.
Oh, okay. Of course.
Well, I was showing somebody.
Okay.
Well, you know, we were showing some people our old weird house. We brought friends home from the bar, and but no, it was I don't know. It was very weird. So we just didn't go up there.
No, we didn't go up there.
Even though it was this huge space.
But sometimes I would ask you, like, did you go to the attic? The door's wide open.
Right.
And you'd say no. And it was kind of an old, door that didn't just open on its own. Would kind of get stuck. You'd have to pull a little bit.
Yeah.
Very weird. Very weird place. So again, I've had these experiences, Dylan. I'm not going to be too freaked out by it.
Okay.
I mean, unless the ghost physically attacks me or tries to make love to me.
Sweet, sweet love.
That's when I might be freaked out.
Oh.
Now, speaking of Burger King once more, Dylan, we have a bit of a scandal here. In 2013, some European meat suppliers came under fire when investigators found out they had been mixing horse meat in with the products that are being advertised as beef. Among the top companies involved was Burger King. Trace amounts of horse meat were found in its supply chain. It seems that the fast food chain took this seriously because they switched suppliers.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's a pretty big scandal,
pretty
right?
quickly after this information came out.
Here in America, that's a big scandal, but, there's multiple countries that actually have a market for horse meat. And, I read this interesting story one time. How do you feel about that? I guess the horse here in America.
Yeah, I've eaten horse.
It's been romanticized.
In a foreign country.
Okay.
Without realizing that I was eating horse.
Well, that doesn't, you were kind of unknowingly eating horse. Would you say you liked it?
It was in spaghetti, like in a meat sauce. I am not going to say I hated it.
Could you tell it was different?
I could tell there was a different. It didn't taste quite like beef. It had almost a little bit of almost like venison.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I'm going to assume the horses are really lean.
Because my dad would often make spaghetti when I was a kid with venison. He would always have his deer butchered, and processed into tenderloins, and some of it he would turn into like ground venison.
Right.
And we would do like burgers or spaghetti, something like that. And I remember thinking it tasted like, it just reminded me of the venison like spaghetti that my dad would make when I was growing up.
Okay. I read the story one time. I guess here in America, the horse has been kind of I'm not anti-horse. Don't get me wrong.
People love horses.
It's kind of like a romanticized, or I don't know what the right word, endeared in a way.
Well, we view them as pets.
Right. Like a dog, like cats. And so I don't look down on another culture who doesn't view an animal that way. That's just a cultural thing. It's okay. But here in America, obviously the horse, people would not go for that. So there was there's still a lot of horses that need disposed of in one way or the other here in this country, right to this day. So what they would do, instead of having a facility in America that would do this thing, it's a necessary evil. It happens. So they need to be processed, put down or disposed of or whatever. Instead of having that facility here in America where we have this idea about horses, oh, we love them, they legislated, everybody raised hell no, this might have been the Midwest. Hell no, there's no way, we love horses, you can't have this here, it's evil. So instead of putting them down here and that happening, they would get stuffed into these box cars and have just this hell on earth journey over the rails to either it was either Mexico or Canada, where then they would in turn, meet their end. So that they suffer a lot more is what I'm saying. And people viewed that as a good thing. It was very strange to me. It brought more suffering to the animal.
Right, I get that.
Right,
I mean,
right.
I don't understand a lot of thoughts people don't understand because it seems more cruel to me.
Yes, I think their heart's in the right place, but when they're not really being honest with reality and logistics, right? It's very weird.
Now, Dylan, we've discussed this before, I do believe, the hot coffee case at McDonald's.
Oh.
But let's talk about this. It was a huge scandal. I mean, the case is infamous. That a woman sued McDonald's in 1992 for almost $3 million because hot coffee she spilled on herself was too hot. But there's a lot more to this story. As I've mentioned before, a lot of people kind of roll their eyes when they heard the story.
No, for years, all I knew was like, wow, I can't believe this crazy lady sued McDonald's for it was always used as a people suing companies is out of control kind of story, right? And this would be the poster child for that statement. And everybody knew about it and everybody would roll their eyes. But when I found out the real story behind it, the facts, it really changed my view of that woman, that poor woman who was injured.
Stella Liebeck hadn't just ruined her pants, Dylan. She actually suffered third-degree burns that kept her in the hospital for a week and then required medical attention for 2 years.
It was like wound care. It was like one of those injuries that will not heal, will not go away. It was like inch deep down. It was just terrible. It was way worse than you could ever imagine, the burn.
Well, it turns out she was not the only person to complain about this. 700 other people had already complained to McDonald's about the hot coffee and injuries they had suffered. Apparently, some of this coffee was being served at temperatures ranging from 180 to 190 degrees.
Yeah.
So, of course, since then, the company has lowered its coffee temperatures. But this case was just everywhere.
I don't think people realize when you approach 200 degrees, as far as a liquid or anything for that matter, so think about it. You're getting this liquid. I mean, who hasn't spilled coffee, right? In one way or the other. You're getting this liquid that's probably getting outside the parameters for the packaging to control it, right? You're getting it as a styrofoam or a flimsy cup, whatever. Plastic lid that's half-assed put on 9 times out of 10. Once you get up around 200 degrees, you're approaching a whole nother ball game as far as danger goes, right?
Yeah, I know. It's very scary.
I got burned I got pulp, paper pulp, which is like in a mushy form, kind of like gravy, if you will, on me. And I don't know the exact temperature, but they estimate it was in the range of 160 to 70 degrees. And it got me on my arm and face.
Yeah, it
or
did.
my ears, and it burnt the living. I mean, it scalded me.
Well, you still have big scars from it.
Yeah, they faded way away.
But they were pretty. I mean, honestly, they were pretty noticeable scars for a few years after it happened.
Yeah, and it was almost a burn like that. It was like deep inset and down in my skin.
Oh yeah.
And I had really good care there on site. We had our own medical of a person who was very knowledgeable, who kept making me go to medical, and he would scrub it. And he would just scrub. He's like, this is going to make it heal better in the end. And, oh, my God, he would clean it.
It was like debriding or something.
Yeah, it's like almost with a wire brushes kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he would scrape all the scabs off, and he would just clean it multiple times. Anyway, And that was nowhere near 200 degrees. And it was one of the worst experiences in my life. And I mean, do you have the backstory on that victim as far as that old lady? Because, you know, the real story is they reached out was to McDonald's about was, look, she got hurt. She's an old lady. I mean, this almost sent her whole health spiraling, right? You know, elderly sometimes can get a minor injury, but it really just takes the wind out of them. You know, other things set in. If they're bedridden, pneumonia, all these other things can happen. And they were like, can you just at least pay her medical bills? That's all they asked. Her medical bills, you know, help her get back on her, a little money to help her get back on her feet. And McDonald's was a dick about it. And they were basically like, kick rocks. What do you know? We're McDonald's. That's how it ended up turning to lawyers and actual litigation and this kind of, you know, really inflated sum, if you will. And so that's not really how it started out. And once I knew that, it really changed my view of the poor woman who was handed this nearly 200-degree liquid in a flimsy fucking styrofoam cup, dude. I mean, come on. That's crazy. I'd heard back then that they'd clocked some of them over 200 degrees, at 220 degrees. Jeez. Some of the coffee, because they did a little investigating before all this came out.
That's nuts. Like, why would you serve coffee that hot?
What are you even putting it in to get it that? Well, I mean, is it in a pot on the stove fucking boiling?
It's a big, like, cauldron?
What are you doing? Because I've been around all kinds of coffee makers in my life. Big ones, industrial ones.
Big ones, little ones.
Little ones.
Little K-cup, little single cup coffee.
Smelly ones, you know, old ones, new ones. And I've never had experienced coffee that hot. I mean, shit.
Again, Dylan, hanger can lead to a lot of dumb crimes. One summer night in 2011 in Shawnee, Oklahoma, police arrived at a Sonic to find that the glass door, had been broken. Now, they soon realized a man was inside and seemed to be stealing food.
Oh.
He's got a bunch of food.
Wait, he's in a Sonic stealing food?
Yeah, and when police make contact, he takes off. They didn't have difficulty finding 18-year-old Dakota Lasley because he'd left a trail of food behind him for 2 whole blocks. He's trying to run with this food. It's not happening. He's dropping it. He's like a little Goldilocks or something.
So they're just
or Hansel and Gretel leaving little crumbs. Yeah,
they're just following the trail of tater tots.
They found corn dogs, hot dogs, and even a chicken breast.
Damn.
They quickly found him in the bedroom of a house where his bloody hands and, kind of gave him away because he had glass embedded in them where he'd broken through the door. And he also had shoes that were embedded with glass where he had stepped on the glass. They knew they found the right person. Now, he's trying to say he did something idiotic because he was blackout drunk. And so that's the reason he broke into a Sonic.
Well, I mean, that kind of makes sense, I guess, right?
Well, police didn't care that he was just drunk and being stupid. He was charged with obstruction and burglary.
Damn. Burglary's a serious charge, man. They will put your ass in jail way quicker than if you rape, murder, or molest someone. Burglary, they will get your ass. As well they should.
I'm just kind of mesmerized by the fact that there's a trail of food and just a random chicken breast.
Dude, I gotta say, when
I go to Sonic, I'm not thinking about a chicken breast. Not that I go to Sonic much. I've never really been a big fan, except for the cherry limeade. Refreshing.
Sonic has some great summer drinks. They really do. And now and again, they would do the 25-cent corn dogs. And you just get a mess of corn dogs for a couple of bucks. Because I swear...
You get a mess of corn dog? That is like the countryest thing I ever heard somebody say in my damn life.
No, but when you eat a corn dog...
People listen to Mountain Murders for these accents, Dylan. And when you say things like, you can get a mess of them corn dogs, I think people love it.
No, them old guys at the paper mill would go by there and bring like 50
sacks of corn dogs.
50 corn dogs in there with a bunch of that yellow mustard, right? Yeller mustard.
It's got to be yeller mustard.
And, God, I could eat like 10 of those things. Shit.
corn dogs are definitely a very nostalgic food for me.
Let me ask you, do you bite the little nub off of the stick?
What do you think?
The little crunchy?
Of course I do.
God, it's so
I
good.
think everybody does.
God, I wish I could get a bag of those crunchies.
Even people who won't admit it. You know you'll be biting the corn dogs crunchy.
You know when you eat popcorn and there's a half pop seed?
I got a bite in that
You
one
like
too.
those?
Yes.
You know you can get a bag of just half pop seeds, the
Really?
whole thing.
Just
Yeah.
like weird little kernels?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
You think it'd be too much?
Well, yeah, I don't want to eat all of it. I mean, I like the popcorn itself.
You just
the
like-
little kernels, just kind of a nice little in between,
Right.
like a palate cleanser from the popcorn.
palate
you know?
cleanser.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what I like to do with popcorn? This is when I used to smoke more marijuana. Can't really do that now. Stupid random drug tests. But you get a handful
Everybody here knows that you like an old pothead, Dylan.
of... I mean, X? What are you talking about?
I said old,
Yeah. Well,
like meaning that you used to do it.
well, you should say X because I'm old, and it makes it sound like I'm just old and a pothead. X
Well, it
pothead.
does run in your family.
Yeah, you take a handful of nice salty buttery popcorn and you just stuff it in your mouth. I'm like 4 fingers, and then you have a nice crisp soda, and then you take a drink of the soda, and it makes all the popcorn go, kind of shrivel down.
No,
And then it's perfect.
that's gross.
That's good.
I feel like my fat kid popcorn treat is when I have popcorn, I want to put M&Ms in it
Dude, I would
and
do.
let the M&Ms get because
Yes.
the popcorn's hot, so it kind of heats the M&M up and then melts the chocolatey M&M, and
and
you get that sweet and savory.
yes,
Yeah,
that's beautiful. At the movies, when I was a kid, if I was lucky enough to have concessions, because one thing my mom did, me and her liked to go to movies when we could. Raisinets in the hot popcorn. It's a good
Okay.
move. It's a good move.
Raisinets is a good theater candy.
It is.
Twizzlers was like my theater candy for many a year. I still like them sometimes.
I don't know how you eat Twizzlers. I hate them.
You hate Twizzlers?
I don't like the consistency
Oh,
of it
man.
at all.
Twizzlers are good.
Okay, do you have another story for us?
You know I do. So leaving a trail of food apparently is not limited to the Sonic guy. Other folks do this. 3 men burgled a Build-A-Burger in Mount Morris, New Jersey.
Build a burger?
Yes.
Oh,
Must be a chain we don't have. It must not be in the South, Dylan.
okay.
So they're at this Build-A-Burger, and it was actually macaroni salad that led to their arrest.
Okay.
Timothy Walker Jr., Matthew Sepetko, and James Marullo broke into the restaurant, grabbed the cash register, and for some reason, a 10-pound bowl of macaroni.
Macaroni salad.
Yeah, they thought they were being smart. They grabbed the surveillance system as well. But that didn't matter because their sloppy eating habits got them caught. Once the thieves left the hamburger shop, they traveled along a biking and hiking path called the Greenway Trail to make their getaway. And along the way, they started losing things like parts of the surveillance system and the cash register. There had actually only been $29 in the register.
Nice.
Yeah. So they're kind of losing part of it. Some of the change had fallen out of the register while they're trying to get the money out. So it's leaving a little, again, Hansel and Gretel trail. And also, they had been eating this macaroni salad while walking down the trail. Again, directing law enforcement like straight to these guys.
Dropping spiraled chunks of macaroni salad, I guess.
Well, if you've got this 10-pound bowl of macaroni salad, I have questions. Were they scooping the macaroni salad out with their hands, or did they have spoons?
Did they steal utensils as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Sounds kind of like maybe they were scooping it out with just their hands or something.
I don't know. But I do love some macaroni salad. I haven't had any in a long time.
I don't think I'm not a fan.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I'm a fan.
Well, you can be wrong.
I think
It's
maybe
fine.
I've had dry macaroni salad, or maybe I just haven't had the good stuff.
Dry macaroni salad.
Well, maybe it wasn't right. I didn't like it. It looks weird to me. Something about it.
It looks weird to you.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. I don't like it when it's too wet, if that makes sense.
Ooh.
Like when it's too mayonnaise-y.
Yeah,
It has to be like has to be perfect. That's why I like to make my own macaroni salad.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to be on the dry side, just like with your pasta salad.
not
I don't know
true.
what you're doing. What are you doing?
My pasta salad.
Yeah, you like the very traditional. Maybe I'm a fan of mayonnaise. I want like a ranch, bacon ranch, or
In pasta salad?
yeah.
Yeah, well, that's not what no. You make your own damn pasta salad. Hey, everybody,
I'll-
you know what, Dylan? You use your entire batch of Duke's mayo and make yourself the biggest, slimiest bowl of pasta salad you can.
Look, I'll get whatever flavor suddenly salad I want, you shum bitch.
Now, we already had a story about someone calling 911 regarding their less than hot fries. And we have a fella here named John Fortune who was visiting a Boynton Beach, Florida Burger King drive-thru in 2018. He ordered a lemonade at the drive-thru and found out that the restaurant was out of lemonade when he got up to the payment window.
Oh, hell nah.
The cashier told him he would need to wait 15 minutes to get his order. They were going to have to make more lemonade. What he did was so logical, Dylan. He called 911 to complain.
Again, I don't know
I didn't get my lemonade.
I don't know what people think the cops are going to do about any of this.
The 911 dispatcher was like, sir, this is not a place you call if you're unhappy with your food order. While she's chatting with him, the dispatcher learned that he hadn't even paid for the lemonade yet, that he was so upset about not getting and that they didn't have. And she tried to convince him, like, you need to just leave and go somewhere else. But he was adamant that, no, I'm going to get this lemonade.
Well, then I guess you're going to wait 15 minutes, dude. I mean...
Well, the dispatcher said to him, sir, come on. I know you don't seriously think that the police need to make Burger King give you food faster.
He wanted it his way, right?
He ended up receiving a summons to court for abusing the 911 emergency system over this.
Well, they should do that because, honestly, you're tying up a local resource that is literally only for emergencies. I mean, come on. He could at least call the non-emergency line of the police department.
I don't know why this is the most Taco Bell story ever. We have to move on to this Taco Bell story.
I asked you this the other day. What farm does Taco Bell get their unripened tomatoes from?
Yeah.
Because
I've never had a tomato from Taco Bell that was ripe.
I think they intentionally get premature tomatoes so like they can cut them up in them tiny pieces or something. There's got to be something to it because they are weird. It's like they're not even real.
Yeah.
And anytime I try to cut a tomato up to any kind of small pieces at all, it just mushes. You know what I mean? It's hard to do. So I think there's something to that.
I don't know what's up with those tomatoes at Taco Bell.
If any of our listeners have ever worked at Taco Bell or know someone that works at Taco Bell, help us get to the bottom of this. Hit us up at Mountain Murders Podcast with the 411 on the weird tomatoes.
Where are they going to hit us up at Mountain Murders Podcast?
Oh, Mountain Murders Podcast at gmail.com. Sorry about that.
Thanks. Yeah, Dylan, that makes more sense. Like I said, this is the most Taco Bell story ever. In 2015, 2 employees of a Taco Bell named Christopher Mathis and Kent Doobie set up a meth lab at work so they could keep their high without needing to come down during working hours.
How?
The Cedar Rapids, Iowa police didn't find it until they were called to the restaurant about a suspicious person outside before dawn one morning. Mathis was the suspicious person hanging around outside during the early morning hours, and he had peeled a lithium battery, which is, I guess, a meth ingredient with him. Or, yeah. He'd brought this peeled lithium battery.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I got that wrong. So it's a peeled lithium battery, which is some kind of ingredient for meth. I don't want to take drugs that you need a lithium battery to. What is this?
No.
What are these people doing? The police investigated the restaurant and found that Mathis and Doobie had other meth lab ingredients in a utility area. So this Taco Bell meth lab closed down, and professionals had to come in and fully decontaminate the building. That's wild. Can you imagine? I mean, this Taco Bell could have exploded with this meth lab, with customers. I mean, this could have been a disaster.
Well, depending obviously on the sophistication of their setup and ingredients, yeah, sure. That's typically a very dangerous situation in many ways.
Again, I don't know why it's the most Taco Bell story I've ever heard. Mainly because every time I go to a Taco Bell, I feel like all the employees are on meth when I go there.
I don't know, taco.
It's a real specific kind of employee. And, to those who've worked at Taco Bell, I'm not trying to insult you, but it definitely has a specific vibe when I go, which is rare.
To the Taco Bells you've been exposed to. I mean, we have to say maybe that's a regional thing or something.
Yeah.
But they do seem to be different than any other fast food place. Like you'll get one or two kind of odd people, but it's like the Taco Bell's full of the odd people. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's in the hiring process. Maybe it's a business culture.
Yeah, maybe you're right, because maybe it's just exclusive to the area where we lived before.
Well, yeah, where we lived before, they certainly give addicts of all types a second chance at the fast food restaurants because, there for a while they said there was a labor shortage. And that's what really blows my mind when there's people like, oh, I can't get a job because I got a felony. Or, I'm homeless or unhoused. I don't have a house. I used to be housed. Now I'm unhoused. I'm like, I don't believe you because the people who served me my fucking Hardee's look like they just got done robbing a bank and like killing someone before they came to work, but they're still here at work working. So I don't believe that you can't get a job when you can literally look down this main road in town and see help wanted signs on every single sign in sight.
I just had a memory of being a young person, 20 years old, working at a restaurant in town, and the two cooks would smoke crack before the lunch shift.
Nice.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, I was wait staff. I didn't spend a whole lot of time hanging out with the kitchen staff, and I'm not a smoker. I think the front of the house mingled a little bit more with back of the house. If they were smokers, they would all go take smoke breaks.
Right.
So being a non-smoker, I feel like you kind of you're not part of the group. You get excluded. Like you're not one of the cool kids if you don't smoke. So I was just like left unattended with tables while everybody else is taking smoke breaks. But yeah, the two guys, they were buds and they would smoke crack before the lunch shift. And I kind of heard this rumor and thought, that sounds whatever. But then no, it was actually true. They did. One day I had come in, I can't remember, I don't even think I was on shift for something, and like came in the back door and they were out there smoking crack.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
So
weird.
And then I learned it was a thing.
You learned it was real.
Yeah. I guess it did not interfere with their ability to make a quality lunch.
Well, apparently not.
So nobody complained.
Well, I think that they wouldn't be the first person on kitchen staff to use drugs at work.
No, not at all. Again, Dylan, Hanger leads to trouble. A Pizza Hut employee named Corey Mogan, who worked at, a restaurant in St. Cloud, Minnesota.
Okay.
Right? He starts craving chicken wings one particular night in 2011, and this comes after he's been on a bit of a drinking bender. Because everybody know, you drink, you want to eat, and wings are a great food when you're intoxicated.
Yeah, they got to be top 5, right?
Yeah, I would say so. Now, he is an employee, so he has access to the space, and he lets himself into the workplace. It's just after 1 a.m. He's tremendously inebriated. He forgets to reset the alarm. The alarm sounds, the police arrive, and they find Mogan in there, drunk, deep frying boneless chicken wings. The police ask the 21-year-old to blow into a breathalyzer. His blood alcohol level was at 0.22.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I mean, they were like surprised that he could even cook
That
in
he
this
was alive?
altered state.
Can we say boneless chicken wings are not really chicken wings?
You don't think they are?
No.
It's just like a nugget.
It's not even close.
I mean, it's basically just a chicken nugget, right?
Well, it's been mushed up and, splat, pushed out into the shape, and it's chicken mush. And I'm not saying I've never eaten a boneless, quote unquote, chicken wing and enjoyed it, okay? But it's nothing like eating a real chicken wing.
So while Mogan was drunk preparing these chicken wings, for some reason he also threw a marinara on a wall and then, forgot to reset the alarm. He ended up being taken to jail for burglary over these drunken, hungry hot wings.
So even though did he break in? Now, you say he worked there?
Yeah.
So he came in
He
after.
had a key, yeah.
Yeah. So, but I guess it being outside his normal operating procedure, he didn't technically have permission to be there, right?
Right.
Because he's not opening or closing.
Well, I'm sure you have to pay for the food when you work there.
Right.
You might get a discount, but you're still expected. So just taking the food, that's stealing from the company.
Well, yeah. No, I get that. And I wonder how many times, if this is the only time he's done this or if he's done it before and gotten away with it.
I don't know.
Just go in there and make him a hand-tossed pizza.
Just go in there and make yourself something to eat.
Yeah.
It's your personal kitchen. We got to talk about this guy. I'm surprised this is our first McDonald's story.
Yeah, I know.
Right? Robert Goldwitzer Jr. ordered McNuggets from an Ankeny, Iowa McDonald's. This was in 2021. And he asked for his favorite dipping sauce. He was ready for these nuggets. He wants his little dipping sauce. And it is really disappointing when you order nuggies and you request a specific sauce and then you don't get the sauce.
Dude, the sauce
That's very heartbreaking.
It's the half of it. It's half of the whole experience.
Well, after Goldwitzer leaves the restaurant, he starts rifling through his food bag. There's no sauce. No sauce to be found. This is a grave disappointment for this fella. He had no other sauce, so he was upset. He did not want to eat these dry-ass nuggets. Starts mulling it over. The more he thinks about these bone-dry nuggets that he cannot dip in a sweet and sour sauce or a tasty barbecue sauce to tickle his taste buds.
Yeah.
Right?
Or a honey mustard.
He calls to complain. He starts making threats. Now, at first, he merely expressed that he wanted to return to the McDonald's and beat up the employee on the other end of the line because they didn't give him sauce.
Damn.
But then he started making bomb threats.
Look, man, these people that make bomb threats, they never have a bomb.
Well, police can't take these bomb threats lightly.
The
employee called police, and they the employee gave them Goldwitzer's phone number because it had popped up on the caller ID at the restaurant.
Nice.
Where he made the bomb threat.
I think for once, investigators should just call somebody's bluff on the bomb threat.
Police,
then fuck it then. Blow it up. I don't care.
Police call him back, and Goldwitzer has no problem admitting that he did indeed make a bomb threat. Later, when he was interviewed by police in person, he also admitted that he had made a bomb threat over this missing sauce. It landed him a felony charge. It's pretty extreme.
Now, was it you that told me that someone went into a bathroom at like a Walmart and said something to the effect of, y'all better get out of here, I'm about to blow this place up? And then, of course, people leave the bathroom like, oh, my God, he has a bomb. But it's really just talking about it was going down. He was about to, just have a really bad poo.
It was not me who told you
It was
this.
not you? Oh, dude.
Are you sure this is not like a personal experience?
No, this is real.
Is what happened to you?
No, I would never do that. I'd be mortified. I would never say that. You would just have to hear me doing it.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Like aisles away?
I mean, it depends on how good your hearing is.
Dylan, there's something wrong with you. I don't know what's wrong with you. No, I've never heard that story, and I definitely was not the person to tell you that story.
Okay.
But I appreciate you sharing it with all of us. We really needed to hear it. Back to another McDonald's scandal. Ronald McDonald's can't come up with his own material. He should hire you, Dylan.
Oh, yeah, I could write some stuff.
Comedy writer. In 1989, comedy magazine Viz published a tip. It said, quote, "Save a fortune on laundry bills. Give your dirty shirts to Oxfam. They'll wash and iron them, and then you can buy them back for 50p. Okay. So 7 years later, a McDonald's radio ad about saving money said almost the exact same thing verbatim, but subbed out Oxfam, which is, I guess, a British soap shop or a charity shop.
Okay.
A couple other commercials from the campaign also sounded suspiciously similar to other jokes that had been written by this publication. McDonald's insisted the jokes were common and that they had not stolen the jokes from this publication. The case ended up being settled out of court, and McDonald's donated money to a charity called Comic Relief.
Nice.
Yeah.
So they're plagiarizing their commercial content, basically?
Yeah.
Nice.
Another McDonald's story, Dylan. In 1986, a small group of protesters started handing out a leaflet called "What's Wrong with McDonald's? Everything They Don't Want You to Know." It accused the fast food giant of everything from underpaying workers to destroying rainforests. Two of the leaflet's writers refused to take the claims back when McDonald's demanded an apology. They ended up launching the longest libel case in English history. After a year-long battle, the court favored McDonald's, but its reputation took a hit. The judge ruled that although some of the claims were false, others, like exploiting children in its ads and acting like its food is healthier than it is, held up in court.
Damn. Nice.
Keeping with our McDonald's theme, Dylan, let's talk about a McDonald's located in Lewiston, New York. Why does New York have all the haunted fast food places?
I don't know.
In the 1970s, McDonald's set up shop in Lewiston's historic Frontier House, which happens to be one of the oldest structures in the area. Now, the fast food chain didn't know this history, but the Frontier House has been haunted by William Morgan since 1826. Morgan died mysteriously after a run-in with the local Freemasons, and some say Morgan sticks around in the Frontier House because that building was a Masonic temple.
Okay.
During his time. Now, until the McDonald's closed in 2004, Morgan repeatedly manifested, especially in the storage pantry, and scared a lot of employees.
So they're just in there getting some extra cups or something like that, and then there's Morgan.
Maybe that's why they have to charge extra for the sauce, because they want to be paid to walk into the storage room to get it.
Maybe so.
There is supposedly a KFC Taco Bell Pizza Hut located in Coronado, California, that is reportedly one of the most haunted places in San Diego. So apparently a team was doing some repairs after hours at this specific location in Coronado. All the employees had gone home, or so they thought, and one team member was like, "Hey, I thought all the employees went home." Another one was like, "Yeah, I thought they had." And he's like, "Well, then who the hell just walked into the refrigerator?" They looked inside the fridge and found no one, but the place was trashed.
Oh, shit.
Now, after talking to the general manager the next day, they learned that employees had been seeing this apparition for at least 10 years.
Well, see, you could have told me that up front. Or why do you have to wait for me to have an experience to let me know this information?
Why is the apparition trash in the fridge?
Maybe it's a disenfranchised employee or something.
Maybe. All right, Dylan, thank you for sitting down with me today to talk about some of the craziest stuff in fast food.
Thanks for having me. And now I've got to go sleep off this fast food coma I got.
Okay. All right, Dylan, we're going to wrap it up. We're going to put you in your little burger sleeve.
Yeah.
Stick you back under the heat lamp.
Yes, that sounds good. And so, yeah, I can't wait for our regular episode this week. Heather has a great case for us, and it's going to be interesting, and I cannot wait to hear it.
All right, Dylan. Until next time.
Until next time.
I don't know, stay hungry?
Yeah. Go out and get some fast food.
Stay hungry for success.
Get you some
whatever.
fries and bring some extra change. You're going to need it for the sauces.
Bye.
Bye.